Scene 1, Hook. On screen, one route, global impact. Visual keywords, container ship aerial, canal transit, port cranes. Narration. Global trade looks invisible until something breaks. When a key route is delayed, shipping times, insurance costs, and prices can move fast. The Red Sea and the Suez Canal are one of the most important choke points in global logistics. Here's what that means in practical terms. Scene 2, the map view. On screen, a shortcut. Visual keywords, world map animation, Europe-Asia route, Suez highlight. Narration. The Suez Canal links the Mediterranean to the Red Sea, shortening the distance between Europe and Asia compared to going around Africa. That's why a huge amount of container traffic, energy shipments, and manufactured goods flow through this corridor. Scene 3, what a choke point is. On screen, choke point. Visual keywords, bottleneck animation, highway traffic analogy. Narration. A choke point is a narrow passage where congestion or risk can disrupt many supply chains at once. It's not just about ships, it's about schedules, warehouses, and just-in-time inventory. Modern supply chains depend on predictable timing. Scene 4, what happens when risk rises? On screen, insurance plus rerouting. Visual keywords, insurance documents, route line shifting, port delays. Narration. When perceived risk rises, insurers may charge more and companies may reroute. Rerouting can mean longer journeys, higher fuel use, and tighter ship availability. Even if goods still arrive, they arrive later, and at a higher cost per container. Scene 5, the Cape route trade-off. On screen, longer path. Visual keywords, Cape of Good Hope map line, rough seas footage, fuel graphic. Narration. A common alternative is sailing around the Cape of Good Hope. It's doable, but it adds time and cost. More time at sea ties up ships, changes port schedules, and can create knock-on delays that spread across multiple regions. Scene 6, containers, rates, and capacity. On screen, rates can spike. Visual keywords, freight rate chart, simple, container stacks, booking screens. Narration. Shipping prices are influenced by capacity and demand. If effective capacity drops, because ships are stuck in longer routes, rates can rise quickly. Businesses then face higher input costs, especially for bulky or lower-margin products. Scene 7, why consumers feel it. On screen, from port to shelf. Visual keywords, warehouse, trucks, supermarket shelves, retail logistics. Narration. Consumer impact depends on what's being shipped and how tight inventories are. Some items have flexible sourcing, others depend on specific suppliers. When lead times lengthen, companies may raise prices, run promotions less often, or keep less variety on shelves. Scene 8, what companies do to adapt. On screen, risk management. Visual keywords, alternative suppliers, inventory planning, air freight, limited. Narration. Companies respond by diversifying suppliers, increasing safety stock, adjusting routes, or switching some urgent goods to air, though air is far more expensive. Over time, repeated disruptions encourage resilience planning, which can reshape supply chains permanently. Scene 9, how to follow the story without hype. On screen, track these signals. Visual keywords, port congestion dashboard, transit times, shipping schedules. Narration. Instead of chasing dramatic headlines, track measurable signals, transit times, port congestion, freight rate indexes, and company earnings guidance. Those indicators reveal how serious disruptions are and whether the situation is improving or worsening. Scene 10, Closing. On screen, logistics equals everyday life. Visual keywords, recap infographic, route delay cost prices. Narration. The Red Sea and Suez matter because logistics connect directly to everyday life, prices, availability, and business stability. If you want more neutral explainers on global systems, subscribe and comment the next trade route or choke point to cover.